Hey guys, welcome back. I want to get this fender bottom made today and the other spots, and then we're going to get these two fenders and the other door in primer today, and then we can start on the quarter panels and stuff next. The paint is not coming in until next week from eBay. I think it's getting shipped out today, so I should have it next week. Unfortunately, I won't be able to paint any parts this weekend, but we could still continue on with the body work. We can get the body of the shell of the car done. We can sandblast those parts over there, get those ready. I think what I'm going to do as far as sandblasting these bumper brackets, I think I'm just going to sandblast them all together. I'm not going to take them apart. I believe we're going to be changing these bumpers, the chrome. So what I think I'm going to do is just leave them all together and just sandblast the brackets as best as possible. And then maybe when I go to switch the metal, I'll get the other side of that. But we're getting there. I didn't work on it yesterday. It rained, and I've been trying to do everything outside in the shop because of the 59s in the shop, and I don't really want to get a bunch of dust blowing around. So let's cut out this. What we're going to do is we're going to cut the outside off first, peel that off, make a new outside piece, and then we're going to remake that inside piece. The reason why I want to do that is because right now it's in the right location, and then once I make this, I can go ahead and make a new inside piece. So let me get my cutting wheel, and we will cut that patch out. Let's see what we got going on here. This wheel I'm using is a thinner wheel. I have a ton of these thin wheels. I'm trying to start using them up. So I'm going to go through them a lot quicker. Let me go get another one. So now that we have this off, we got to make the original one came down farther, and then there's a hole right here, and then there's another leg right here, which is all completely rotted away. I guess we could cut this off, but I think I should probably leave it there, and we'll put the new outer one on because it's going to put it in the right position. But it's going to be kind of hard to cut this off afterwards. Yeah, we'll figure it out. We got to clean up this debris right here. Okay, I got those other little pieces cut off. What it was the outer metal from the fender was welded on there and down there onto that brace. So now we need to make a new one of these. Look at how bad this one was. Kind of eyeball this. So I'm gonna get that square cut out and then I'll come back. Okay, I got this piece cut. I put an X here and there so I know which side it goes up top for right now. So now we gotta bend this. Just gonna draw a line straight down. That's far enough. I'm gonna go take this on the vise like I did on the other fender, and I'm gonna bend this down to 90 degrees real quick. Okay, I ended up using my metal bender. So I bent that radius right there. Unfortunately, I have a little bit of a big gap here. It's probably a good 1/8 inch, so it'll be a little bit harder to weld in, but we'll get it. I probably should have rolled this first, but I can make a relief cut if I need to. So I need to cut this here, a little bit of an angle, and I need to cut that back like that. My marker's about shot. So I'm gonna cut this and then I'll come back. We'll see how that fits. Okay, I got that cut off. So now, as you can see, we need to roll this. We need to get an edge going here. So I'm gonna make a little relief cut right there. Probably not that big, but make a little bit of a pie cut here. Okay, I put it in the vise here because you can only use the vise because I have this bent here, so I really can't use my bender. So I want to just try to roll this thing, trying to give it a little bit of a curve like we did the other fender. A little bit of a sharp line, but we can work that out with the hammer. See if that matches the curve at all. This is all just trial and error. Keep doing it until you get it to where you like it. Actually, that's not too far off. That's actually pretty close. We gotta do another little bend right here. Right in this area. I don't know where I put my marker. Oh, it's right in front of me. So we need to do a little bit of a bend right here. So let's make another little relief cut there. And these relief cuts, we can weld them in afterwards. You'll never see them, but we can always just weld them in. And it would just look like one seamless piece of metal. So I want to get a little bit of a bend on this part. Doesn't need to be a ton. Okay, so if you look at this, we have a roll going on now. See how it's not flat? It's going to match the roll of the fender. That's pretty darn good. We got to do a pretty drastic bend down here. That'll probably take care of that roll that I need at the bottom. probably, I should have, well, you know, it's tough to figure out which way you want to make the bend first. Either way, you got to struggle one way or the other. I got to go cut that. I got to go make a bigger relief cut in that. Plus, this is 16 gauge steel, so this is definitely not the easiest to bend. I'm probably gonna have to hammer this. Go check that. Sorry, I keep bouncing around the camera, but I gotta keep going back and forth until I get it where I want it. Wow. Okay, that's looking real good. Need to clean that edge up a little bit. Yeah, you gotta look at this edge over here. It looks real good. So if you look right here, I got lucky and got the right angle right off the bat. But like I said, I got a big gap there I gotta weld in, but we'll get it. It's not the end of the world. So I need to cut this straight. I'm gonna run my finger along the edge of this metal here so I could draw a straight line. Just like that. And then I have to make a U-cut where the bolts go. And what that looks like is I'm gonna eyeball it. I have a pretty good idea what it looks like. And I have that other fender I can go off of too. But that should be about what it looks like. I'm gonna go check it on the other fender. Okay, I cut it down that way, and now I made a couple cuts in this, so we're just gonna bend this off. Then I'm gonna take my little die grinder thing, we're gonna clean that up. Okay, I got my little deburring tool here, and we're gonna clean up this radius. Okay. And that looks pretty darn good. Let's get it tacked in. Not worrying about weld through primer too much. I'm going to cut this brace down here farther. So I'm just going to put a little bit at the top edge here because the rest of it's going to be visible from the back once I cut that brace off. So I'm just going to stick a little bit up here. Just get a tack on here to hold it. we got it held in place. That actually looks really good. I'm happy with that. A little bit of a sharp bend here, but this is pretty thick. I can probably just knock it down a little bit with the grinder, and then a little bit of mud. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to get this welded up. Then I got to leave for a little bit. I'll come back and I'll continue this video. We'll get the back brace done. Once we get the back brace done, then we just got to fill in a couple holes on that other side over there, and then this fender will be ready for body work. So let's go ahead and weld this up real quick. Continue to tack it just like I am. Get those two filled in, and then I'll come back. Okay, that is all welded. I'm going to get this ground down. So I'm just going to do that off camera. I'm going to grind these two welds in around the edge and on the bottom, and then I'll come back. Okay, got the outside patch done. Nice and flat. Feels pretty darn good. There's a little bit of a dip here. That's from when they did it last time. Same as the other fender. They warped it right there. So now we have this front done. We'll be able to flip this over and work on the back side. Let me flip it over real quick. We'll see what we're working with here. And I got to run out for a little bit, and then I'll be back. So here's what we have on the back side to work with. So now we know that this patch is in the right spot so that we can make a new one of these legs, and we're going to line right back up because I did this outside patch first. So now we'll cut this off, and this is going to be a fun one to make. We'll probably have to make it in several pieces in order to get it to work. It's not going to be an exact match, but we'll try to get it as close as possible. So all right, I'll be back in a little bit. All right, I'm back, and I am ready to cut this brace off. Get my cutter here. It's a little windy outside, so apologize for the wind noise. Well, I'm going to cut it right here, right below that hole. I think that should be all I need to do. I'm going to end up having to cut through that, but I'll weld it back together. Okay, got that cut off. So now I need to figure out how I'm going to make this. I'm going to make it in a couple pieces. First piece we're going to start with is this piece. find my marker, which is on the ground right here. I gotta get another marker here in a little bit. This one's dead. So I'm going to cut this out, this rectangle, and then I'll come back. Okay, I have this piece cut. So now I need to do is bend it probably right around here. I'm just going to put a bend on it that matches the angle of this bend within reason. Maybe we'll go use the bender. It might be a little bit easier. Match this bend here. Actually, you know what I'm going to do is I'm doing that wrong. I need to measure from, okay, I'm not too far off. See, I go a little bit past the line. I don't want to bend too much at once. We're close. And that's pretty good there. So now we have that bend correct. Now we could start on the next pieces, which are going to be the sides. So now I know that this will fit like this. Might have to bend it a little bit more. Yeah, maybe a little bit more. But that's not a big deal. So I need to make 2 1/4-inch pieces like this, but they look like they taper down. I'll have to look at the other fender. Let me look at the other fender and then I'll come back. Yes, they taper down. So I'm gonna go from this thickness down to probably half that thickness. I'm gonna cut 2 pieces of that and then I'll come back. Spraying some weld through primer on everything now, just to make sure everything's coated. I have one of those wedge pieces cut. It's just probably a little hot still. Okay, I'm gonna make 1 more of these. Okay, I'm going to put a tack weld on this. It's going to be kind of tricky. These type of parts get to be a little tricky to make. But with a little time and patience, you'd be amazed at what you can come up with. I'm going to put the same duplicate piece on the other side here. Okay. So now we need to make these two pieces that go from here to here. So let me cut a couple strips of that next. Figure out what the width of these are. We'll go from the 1 inch line, 3/4 of an inch wide. So we need 2 3/4 of an inch wide strips. So I'll get those cut. Okay, I sprayed the back of these with some more weld through primer. I need to weld this fender bracket brace to the fender. So I need to flex this tight. And I need to cut that too big a gap between the metals. I'm gonna cut this weld off. Might have to get a clamp. Maybe not. Okay. And if you're wondering, I'm closing my eyes while doing this. Now we need to make 2 more 3/4 inch wide pieces that are going to fill this in right here, coming up to there. So I'm going to cut 2 more of those and get them primered on the backside. Okay, I put a little bend in them and then I sprayed the primer on the backside. Now we're going to get these tacked in. Oops. Okay. I need to make a little piece to fit in there on both sides. So I'm going to make that now. And then we should be ready to finish welding this and then cut it back where we need to cut it and drill our hole. So let me get some pieces made for here real quick. Okay, I got the first one made. I have to tweak this side a little bit. It's a little crooked. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead off camera. I'm gonna weld all this up and then we'll come back and grind it and cut it down and stuff. Okay, I have that welded, but I forgot I need to make a side piece here and a side piece over there. So I'm gonna do that off camera. Then we'll come back, we'll cut it down and grind it up. Okay, everything should be welded up. I'm gonna cut this down now so that it's just even all the way across. Let me get my grinder out. What I'm doing now is making sure these edges are as low as the center. Ideally, you'd probably want to fit this on the car to make sure it fits, but I'm pretty confident I should be able to get it, it'll fit. And I'm going to make the hole a little bit bigger than what it was from the factory, and I could just use a bigger washer. So I'm going to go around and grind all this down, then I'll come back and show you what it's looking like. Okay, I'm putting this one over top of the old one, so I can get an idea where the center is, and I'm going to drill a hole. Like I said, I'm going to drill a little bit bigger than what it was before, but here's what it's looking like so far. So it looks pretty good to me, nice and solid. Okay, we're going to use a step drill bit, and this goes up to 3/4 what was there, so we're going to take it all the way, which is 7/8, which is just a little bit bigger. Might have to drill a pilot hole first. Yeah, let me go get a drill bit. Might have to get a powerful drill. This one's not very powerful. I don't really like to drill metal real fast, but all right, we got it. So now we have a nice new hole there. We hold the old brace up the best we can. See that it pretty much lines up. So that's going to do that. That's it for that part. I'm just going to spray some weld-through primer on it right now to just seal it up, and then we can go and fix those other two spots. Get those done, and then this fender is ready for body work. All right, I used my little wire wheel and I cleaned up that surface rust that was over there, and then I just sprayed some of this weld-through primer on there. So now let's get set up and get that other side started. Well, my video is running a little bit there. I'll have to try to edit that out. I'm not worried about primer because I can get to the backside. But I do need to straighten that out right there. All right, try to bend this, get our radius going here, just like that. Couple more tacks. Okay, now we can cut down the height of it. Side sticking out a little bit on the bottom. Let me see if I can bring that in. Little cut here. Now it should go in. Okay, so now that we have that formed pretty good, I'm going to put my helmet on and weld this a little bit just to keep it in shape. Darn it. There's a couple dirty spots. All right, now we got that done. Need to make that little piece, and then we can make this flange underneath. Real quick, I'll stop the camera. I probably won't primer these parts on this video. It could probably be the next one. I'll probably just do it tomorrow because it's going to be kind of long with all these patches and stuff that's going on here. It's going to be hot. Now, I don't worry about warping as much when it's on edges and on curves because it's pretty sturdy. Let me grind this down. I'll come back and show you what it's looking like so far. Then we can make this bottom piece here, and then we'll go from there. Now you can see how that looks ground down. That looks pretty darn good. So now we got to make a piece down here, and then this front's fixed, and then we got a little there. There's a tiny little pinhole there and one other spot. I'm not going to screw with them. I'm going to put that fiberglass short strand filler over top. It's going to take care of that. Sometimes you don't want to mess with that if you don't have to. So let's try to make this bottom piece now. I think what I'm going to do is cut it off, trace it onto a piece of metal in the shape. I'll have to try to look at the other fender bottom and see what that one looks like. Okay, so we know it goes like this with a little bit of a space. I have a pretty good idea what it's supposed to look like. So let me draw this up, cut it, and I'll come back. Actually, I'll show you what I'm coming up with here. So what I think it should look like is, find my marker. Stuff like this doesn't have to be exact either. Nobody's ever going to see it. So that goes like that. You can actually see the shape. This comes out like that, follows this, and then it comes back in. Like that. And the hole gets drilled right there. So that's the shape I need to cut out. So I'm going to get that cut out now. Okay, I made that piece to go on the bottom. It's going to hang out until I cut it back. But we can at least tack it on here. This is what it looks like currently. So we're going to go ahead and tack it on right here. Grab my hammer. Actually, I got a pair of pliers here, might work. Okay. that's done. Just got to drill that hole in the bottom for the mount so it can get mounted. Now I need to cut out this spot here, and we need to make this piece, and then there's a lip that's got to go in. So let's cut that out now. I probably won't do the body work on this fender on camera. It's going to be the same as what I did with the other fender and door and stuff like that. So really no point in repeating it. You'll see exactly what it's going to be the exact same thing. What I'm going to have to do is cut it like this. I wonder if I can wiggle that off. Pull my screwdriver. And the reason why we're making these in two pieces is because I can't bend it like that and make the lip all at the same time. Not with the type of tools I have. It can be done, yes, but I don't have the tools to do that. Okay, we got that piece out. This will have to fix up, but that's not a big deal. I'm gonna go ahead and cut this strip off right here. This piece, we're gonna use that. Okay, we can probably start bending that ourselves with the hammer on here, because it kind of has a curve to it, so it might be able to just see what we're doing is we're just putting a curve in it. Take that over there and see what that looks like. Probably going to need to bend it a little bit more. It's real close. I need to go in here a little bit tighter. And that looks good. Get it tacked. Cut it down to length. Stupid things in the way. Do it this way. All right, I don't know how much I got on that last little bit there. My camera turned off because my battery's dying. But I cut this little strip for underneath. I welded this all on. I don't know if the camera got that or not. So now I need to making that inside lip. So I need to cut that out. Okay, I got that cut. Should be able to fit it right up in here. Yep. Pretty decent. Ooh, that's hot. Okay. pretty good. I guess this, I'm just going to re-tack weld it together. I'm just going to clamp it, put it in place, and tack weld it from the back side. So, I think that's going to end this video. So all that's really left to do on this fender is the body work, which you guys have seen me do on the other one. So let's end this video here. Tomorrow we will get these 3 panels in primer, and then the rest of the day I want to work on the 59 Impala. I want to get the exhaust tight to the motor. I want to figure out why I'm not getting power to the dashboard. I got to hook up the radiator. I don't know if I have a fuel line yet, but that's okay. Could start it without a fuel line. I'd like to see if I can get it started and possibly get the trim around the windshield back put on. If I can get all that done tomorrow, I'd be really happy with that, because then I know that I can just continue on. Once I get power to the dashboard, I can get the powered windows and vent window and rear quarter window. I can get all those put in, because I'm going to want to have power when I'm working on that stuff, so I can roll the motor, roll the window up and down and the regulator up and down, so that I can get to the bolts and adjustments that I need to. So I'm going to end the 64 video here. I'm going to upload it right now, and then tomorrow, stay tuned. We'll do a short video on primering these panels, and then we'll work on the 59. So thanks for watching, guys. If you're liking what you're seeing, please like and subscribe. Any questions or comments, feel free to ask. Other than that, I will see you guys tomorrow.